Welcome to today's fascinating journey into Singapore's history and culture. Have you ever wondered what the most common last names in Singapore are and what makes them so popular? Names can tell us so much about a person's ancestry, culture, and history. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the names that dominate Singapore's population, exploring why they're so common, what they represent, and how they reflect the diverse and multicultural society of this incredible island nation. Singapore is a melting pot of cultures with a rich mix of ethnicities that shape the country's identity. From Chinese to Malay, Indian, and even Eurasian communities, each ethnic group brings with it its own naming traditions. So let's get started and discover some of the most common last names in Singapore. Chapter 1. The Influence of Chinese Surnames. Chinese surnames make up a significant portion of the population in Singapore, and their presence has a deep-rooted connection to the island's history and culture. These names are more than just identifiers. They hold stories of migration, heritage, and traditions passed down through generations. In fact, Chinese surnames like Tan, Lim, Ng, and Chong are the most prevalent, shaping Singapore's identity as a multicultural society. 1. Tan. The most common surname in Singapore, Tan is carried by more than 5% of the population. This surname is derived from the Chinese surname Chen, which translates to long or ancient in English. It is especially common across multiple Chinese dialects, including Hokkien, Teochew, and Cantonese. According to the Singapore Census of Population, the spread of Chinese surnames like Tan can be traced back to the mass migration of Chinese settlers from southern China to Southeast Asia, including Singapore, during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Tan's widespread use is linked to the name's long history and its association with respected families. Over time, this name became synonymous with perseverance, and it remains deeply ingrained in Singapore's culture today. 2. Lim. Another highly popular surname in Singapore is Lim, written Lin in Chinese. The meaning of Lim is forest or woods, symbolizing growth and prosperity. This surname is most closely associated with the Hokkien dialect group, and it is common in many Southeast Asian countries, not just Singapore. According to historical records, the Lim surname is thought to have originated from ancient Chinese aristocracy. During China's Tang dynasty, people with the surname were granted titles and privileges. As a result, Lim's association with wealth and good fortune is symbolic in many families. Lim is especially meaningful in Singapore, where prosperity and success are highly valued. For many, the name represents a link to their family's long-standing history and their hopes for future success. 3. Ng. The surname Ng, pronounced Eng in Singapore, is one of the most prevalent surnames in the country. This surname originates from Huang, which means yellow, or emperor. The Huang surname historically signified nobility and royal lineage. According to research on Chinese surnames in Southeast Asia, the Ng surname became widespread across the region due to early Chinese immigration, particularly from the Hokkien-speaking areas. This name carries a sense of prestige, and its connection to royalty gave it an enduring presence in Chinese communities in Singapore. Over time, it became one of the most recognized surnames, with many families proud to carry its historical weight. 4. Chong. The surname Chong is another common name in Singapore, primarily associated with the Cantonese-speaking population. Chong means clock or bell, which symbolizes time, wisdom, and longevity. As with many Chinese surnames, Chong's meaning reflects the values of life, guiding principles and legacy. This surname's prevalence in Singapore is tied to the long-standing Cantonese influence in the country. Families with the surname Chong take pride in its historical significance and the wisdom it represents. Through generations, this name has been passed down, becoming a symbol of the family's heritage and commitment to tradition. In summary, the most common Chinese surnames in Singapore are deeply connected to the nation's rich history of migration and cultural fusion. Names like Tan, Lim, Ng, and Chong are not just common. They are steeped in significance. They reflect the values, legacy, and hopes of families that have shaped Singapore's identity. Understanding these names allows us to appreciate the profound cultural diversity that makes Singapore the vibrant nation it is today. Chapter 2. The Role of Malay Surnames. While Chinese surnames dominate, Malay surnames also play a crucial role in shaping Singapore's cultural identity. The Malay population in Singapore contributes to the rich ethnic tapestry of the country, and their surnames reflect a blend of Islamic, traditional Malay, and Arabic influences. Common Malay surnames such as Bin, Binti, Abdul, and Hassan are deeply connected to the values of faith, family, and cultural heritage. 1. Abdul. One of the most common prefixes in Malay surnames is Abdul, which means servant of God in Arabic. This name is often used in combination with other names such as Abdul Rahman, servant of the merciful, or Abdul Aziz, servant of the Almighty. The use of Abdul signifies deep humility and devotion to faith, a core aspect of Islamic culture. In Singapore, this name is widely found in Malay Muslim communities, reflecting the strong connection to Islamic traditions. The name embodies a sense of spiritual devotion, as it's frequently used to honor religious beliefs. According to studies on naming conventions in Muslim-majority regions, Abdul is a name that has spread across Southeast Asia, reflecting the enduring influence of Islam in the region. 2. Hassan. The surname Hassan holds significant meaning in both Islamic and Malay cultures. It translates to handsome or good in Arabic, and it symbolizes beauty, kindness, and excellence. The name is popular among Malay families and is often associated with positive qualities such as nobility and moral integrity. In Singapore, Hassan is more than just a name. It carries a legacy that ties individuals to the virtues of generosity, righteousness, and good character. The name's widespread use in Muslim-majority regions, including Southeast Asia, highlights its connection to religious and cultural ideals. For many Malay families in Singapore, the name Hassan is a symbol of the values they hold dear, and it reflects their desire to instill those same values in future generations. 3. Bin and Binti. Unlike the Chinese naming conventions, where surnames are typically passed down through generations, the Malay naming system uses bin, meaning son of, and Binti, meaning daughter of, as prefixes. These are then followed by the father's name, which helps trace lineage and identify the person's family heritage. For example, a person named Muhammad bin Ali would be the son of Ali, while a woman named Siti binti Ahmad would be the daughter of Ahmad. This naming system emphasizes the importance of family ties in Malay culture. It allows for easy tracing of ancestry, and the use of bin and binti reinforces the significance of paternal lineage. In Singapore, this tradition serves to maintain strong connections to familial roots and cultural heritage, ensuring that each individual's identity is tied to their family history. This naming convention is not just a practical way of organizing names, but a symbolic expression of respect for family, tradition, and heritage. In conclusion, Malay surnames in Singapore are more than just identifiers. They carry rich meanings that reflect the strong cultural and religious values of the Malay community. Abdul and Hassan symbolize devotion, goodness, and moral integrity, while Bin and Binti highlight the importance of family ties and ancestry. These surnames serve as a reminder of the enduring influence of Islamic tradition in the Malay community and their deep connection to their heritage. Chapter 3. Indian Surnames in Singapore. Singapore's Indian community plays a significant role in shaping the country's diverse cultural landscape, and their surnames are a reflection of this rich heritage. Indian surnames such as Siva, Raj, Kumar, and Pillai are not only common in Singapore but also carry deep meanings tied to religion, history, and regional identities. These names are often associated with values like leadership, respect, and family, which continue to resonate within Singapore's multicultural society. 1. Siva. The surname Siva is widely found among Tamil-speaking Indians in Singapore and holds great cultural and religious significance. Siva is derived from the name of the Hindu god Shiva, who is worshipped as the destroyer and regenerator of the universe in Hindu mythology. The name represents purity, power, and auspiciousness. In Hindu tradition, Shiva is a god of transformation and renewal, making the name highly symbolic. According to research on Indian naming customs, the popularity of the surname Siva in Singapore reflects the strong presence of Hinduism and its influence on local culture. The name evokes a sense of spiritual depth, with many families associating it with a divine connection and a focus on purity in both religious and everyday life. 2. Raj. Raj is a common surname among Indian families, especially those of North Indian descent. The name comes from the Sanskrit word Raja, meaning king or ruler. As a surname, Raj signifies leadership, authority, and power. It is a name associated with nobility and strength, often linked to people who played significant roles in regional governance or leadership positions. The Raj surname is especially common in states like Rajasthan, Punjab, and Uttar Pradesh, and many families in Singapore with this surname trace their roots to northern India. According to historical migration patterns, many North Indian families, particularly those involved in trade and administration, made their way to Singapore, bringing the name Raj with them. In Singapore, Raj remains a popular surname, symbolizing respect and influence. 3. Pillai. The surname Pillai is widely used by both Tamil and Malay communities in Singapore, particularly those with roots in the southern states of India, like Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Pillai means child or son in Tamil, and historically it was a title used by nobles, scholars, and community leaders. In southern India, Pillai was often given to individuals who held a position of prestige, such as landowners or teachers. In Singapore, the surname is a legacy of early Tamil and Malayali immigrants who brought their traditions and names with them. Over time, it became a popular surname in the Indian community in Singapore, symbolizing a connection to both southern India's history and its intellectual and cultural contributions. The name Pillai continues to evoke respect, given its association with leadership and learning. 4. Kumar. The surname Kumar is another common Indian surname in Singapore, often seen across a variety of Indian communities, especially among South Indians. In Sanskrit, Kumar means prince or youth, often used to signify a young male or a person of noble or distinguished heritage. The name is deeply embedded in both Hindu and Indian cultural traditions, as it is also used as a title for sons of kings or significant figures. As with other Indian surnames, Kumar represents not just a family lineage, but also aspirations and social status. Its widespread usage in Singapore is a testament to the large South Indian community that migrated to the country in the 19th and 20th centuries. Many families carrying this surname are proud of its association with youth, vitality, and leadership. In summary, Indian surnames in Singapore serve as a window into the country's rich cultural diversity, showcasing the deep ties between personal identity, religious heritage, and regional histories. Names like Siva, Raj, Pillai, and Kumar each carry their own significance, reflecting values of spirituality, power, nobility, and intellectual tradition. These surnames not only honor the past, but also serve as a reminder of the contributions made by Indian communities to the development of Singapore. Whether tied to religious beliefs or regional heritage, Indian surnames play an essential role in preserving the cultural fabric of Singapore, ensuring that each generation continues to carry forward the legacies of their ancestors. Chapter 4. The Impact of Eurasian Surnames. Eurasian families in Singapore have played a key role in shaping the country's diverse surname landscape, contributing to the multicultural identity that defines the nation. The Eurasian community in Singapore has a unique heritage that blends European and Asian influences, with surnames such as D'Souza, Fernandez, and Vasquez reflecting this cultural fusion. These surnames are deeply rooted in the historical interactions between European colonists and the local populations, making them an essential part of Singapore's identity. 1. D'Souza, one of the most prominent surnames among the Eurasian community in Singapore, is D'Souza, which is of Portuguese origin. The surname is derived from the Portuguese name Sousa, a geographical name referring to a region in Portugal. The name's significance goes beyond its linguistic roots. It represents the lasting impact of Portuguese colonialism in Southeast Asia. During the 16th century, Portuguese settlers arrived in the region, establishing colonies and trading posts. Many of these settlers intermarried with the local populations, creating a distinct Eurasian group that became part of the fabric of Singapore's multicultural society. The surname D'Souza carries a legacy of both Portuguese colonial history and the merging of European and Asian cultural traditions. Over the years, this name has become widely associated with the Eurasian community, and it remains a symbol of the shared history between Europeans and Southeast Asians. 2. Fernandez. Another well-known surname in the Eurasian community is Fernandez or Fernandez, which has Spanish and Portuguese origins. The surname means son of Fernando, with Fernando being derived from the Germanic name Ferdinand, meaning brave traveler or adventurer. The name reflects the era of European exploration and the extensive travels of Spanish and Portuguese explorers. In Southeast Asia, the name has come to symbolize the colonial influence of Spain and Portugal, with missionaries and settlers leaving a lasting imprint on local populations. Fernandez is particularly significant in Singapore, where it is associated with the Eurasian population, which traces its roots back to the time when European colonists began to settle in the region. The name is a testament to the enduring legacy of the Iberian influence in Southeast Asia, as well as to the integration of European settlers with local communities over centuries. 3. Vasquez. Vasquez is another surname that reflects the Eurasian heritage in Singapore, though it has Spanish roots. The surname Vasquez is derived from the Spanish word Vázquez, which itself comes from a place name in Spain. The name signifies son of Vasco, with Vasco meaning man from the Basque region of Spain. The name's historical significance is rooted in the exploration and colonization efforts by Spanish settlers, who made their way across the globe, including to Southeast Asia. Much like Fernandez and D'Souza, Vasquez is a surname that connects the Eurasian community to its European ancestry, specifically to the Spanish presence in the region. While it may be less common than the other two surnames, Vasquez still carries the same historical and cultural weight, reflecting the complex heritage of the Eurasian community in Singapore. 4. In conclusion, Eurasian surnames in Singapore, such as D'Souza, Fernandez, and Vasquez, are more than just names. They are symbolic of the rich and complex history of European colonialism in Southeast Asia. These surnames reflect the blending of European and Asian cultures, with each name carrying its own unique story of migration, settlement, and intermarriage between colonists and local populations. The Eurasian community, with its distinct heritage, has contributed significantly to Singapore's multicultural society, and the surnames of its people serve as a lasting reminder of the country's colonial past and the diverse cultural influences that have shaped its present. Chapter 5. Why these last names are so common. The prevalence of certain last names in Singapore, particularly those from Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian communities, can be attributed to the country's rich history of migration, colonial influence, and ethnic diversity. These names have become a defining feature of Singapore's multicultural identity. So why are these last names so common in Singapore? Let's explore the factors behind their widespread use. 1. Migration and early settlers. One of the primary reasons for the commonality of certain last names in Singapore is the country's history of immigration. When Singapore was founded as a British trading post in the early 19th century, it attracted waves of immigrants from various regions, including China, India, and the Malay archipelago. These early settlers brought with them their surnames, which were passed down through generations. For example, the Chinese immigrants who came from different provinces in China, such as Fujian, Guangdong, and Hainan, brought surnames like Tan, Lim, and Ung. Similarly, Indian immigrants, particularly from southern India, brought names like Siva, Raj, and Kumar. Over time, these surnames became deeply entrenched in Singapore's culture, woven into the country's social fabric. As these early migrants settled in Singapore, they contributed to the creation of a unique multicultural society, and their surnames continued to be passed down through the generations, ensuring their lasting presence in the population. 2. Colonial influence. During the British colonial era, Singapore became a melting pot of cultures. The British brought with them European surnames that would later become common in the Eurasian community. Surnames like D'Souza, Fernandez and Vasquez reflect the lasting impact of European colonization on Singapore's naming conventions. The colonial era also saw the arrival of Portuguese and Dutch settlers who intermarried with the local populations, further blending European and Asian heritage. The Eurasian community that emerged as a result of these intermarriages plays a significant role in shaping Singapore's cultural landscape today. These European surnames have survived for generations, passing through Eurasian families who continue to carry these legacies, making them an integral part of the country's surname diversity. 3. Cultural significance. The last names commonly found in Singapore are deeply intertwined with the cultural practices, beliefs, and traditions of the various ethnic communities. For example, many Chinese surnames, such as Tan and Lim, are associated with meanings rooted in Chinese philosophy, family values, and respect for ancestors. These names symbolize attributes such as prosperity, growth, and resilience, which are significant in Chinese culture. Similarly, Malay surnames such as Abdul and Hassan reflect Islamic traditions and values, with meanings that emphasize devotion, beauty, and goodness. Indian surnames like Siva and Pillai are linked to religious beliefs and historical identities, representing spiritual purity and intellectual achievement. The cultural significance of these surnames plays a key role in why they continue to be passed down and remain common in Singapore today. They are not just identifiers, but symbols of a rich cultural heritage that continues to be celebrated by their bearers. 4. In conclusion, the most common last names in Singapore are not just random. They carry deep historical, cultural, and social significance. Migration brought these names to Singapore, where they became embedded in the local identity. The colonial influence further added to the diversity of surnames, especially within the Eurasian community, while cultural values and traditions ensured the continued use of these names over generations. Today, these last names are more than just labels. They are a reflection of Singapore's multicultural heritage and the stories of the people who have contributed to its development over the centuries. Conclusion: as we've explored, the most common last names in Singapore are more than just identifiers. They serve as a window into the country's rich cultural history. Whether it's the Chinese surnames like Tan, Lim, and Ng, the Malay names like Abdul and Hassan, or the Indian surnames like Siva and Raj, each name carries a story. These surnames reflect the waves of migration, cultural exchanges, and traditions that have shaped Singapore's identity. These names are a testament to the multicultural tapestry that makes Singapore such a dynamic and vibrant nation. They hold the legacies of early settlers, colonial influences, and the enduring values of the various communities that have contributed to Singapore's development. So the next time you meet someone with one of these last names, remember that it's not just a name, it's a part of Singapore's story. It speaks of deep-rooted traditions, migration, and the blending of cultures that makes Singapore unique. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the fascinating history behind Singapore's most common last names.